Hello, Internet. Nice to see you guys again. And I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for uh, checking in. And I know that when you go on YouTube, there's all kinds of different things that you can click on. And there's a few of you who have been following very closely, very carefully, and you know who you are, and I know who most of you are as well. And I just want to say that I really appreciate you. You know that, and there's no words to convey how much I appreciate the fact that you care about following along and just being a part of this journey for me. So thank you. And I know some of you have been waiting because in the last video, which I posted about a week ago, I mentioned that I was going to be going back down to Mayo on Friday, which was yesterday, and that I would be having blood work, CT scans, echocardiogram, and a visit with my oncologist. The blood work CT oncologist, the first that I've had since the 30th of August, so it has been more than 2 months ago. And the echo is the first that I've had since April. So it was kind of a big day. I had to leave here very, very early in the morning, way before the sun came up. You know, this time of year it's dark. So I left in the dark and I didn't get back until it was dark again. My brother met me for the oncology appointment later in the afternoon. But it was a very long day. And although not physically tiring or physically difficult, it was just mentally and emotionally a really long day. So I'm very glad that it's over. The good news that I wanted to share with you is that, spoiler alert, I will explain everything, but I'll just let you know right in the beginning here that it was a good day. I received good news, and of course I'm just overjoyed about that. And I'll go through it one by one. The first thing is the blood work. Everything was absolutely normal. I have rebounded from my low red blood hemoglobin count that had plagued me for months back in the thick of my battle when I was in the middle of chemotherapy and surgeries and a blood infection the end of last year all the way through like February, March. Even into April, I still was, my red blood count was very low, which means that I was anemic, which means that you just have low energy, all of that. So that is way in the rearview mirror now, and I'm so happy about that. So blood work was really good with one exception. There are 2 or 3 measures of liver enzymes. It's liver function, liver enzymes. Those were elevated, not extremely so, but above the normal range. And we're not quite sure about that other than the fact that my liver has been through a lot since April when I had my resection. And then the ablation procedure, which was less than 2 months ago. So my oncologist was not too worried about that. He said that he had seen these liver enzyme numbers way higher. So when I was the one who actually brought it up to him, and because he hadn't mentioned it, and I just said, what should I think about this? And he said, I've seen much higher numbers. I'm really not all that worried about it, but let's do another blood draw, which I can do locally without having to go down to Mayo in about 2 to 3 weeks. And we'll just see what the trend is. Is it trending down, or is it staying high, or is it getting higher? But the moral of the story is, according to him and his professional perspective, he said that they were not terrifically high, not alarming for him. He was not that concerned about it. So even though that was the part of the blood work that concerned me a little bit. Okay, on to the CT scan. I got 2 scans, which I always do. It's a chest and then abdomen pelvis. So basically, it's a CT scan of the upper part of my trunk, basically, and then the lower half. And the upper half basically is looking at the lungs. And the news there was good. There has been no serious redevelopment of disease. There are some extremely small nodules, just a couple, that were in the narrative of the CT scan, 2 millimeter nodules. You know how small 2 millimeters is? That's 2/10 of a centimeter. So extremely small. And again, my oncologist later in the afternoon, when we were reviewing all the data, he just said that when he was looking at the scans, he couldn't even see them. It's just that they are in the report that there are a couple of 2 millimeter lung nodules. So anyway, even that, if that is some kind of new metastatic development, it's nothing to be concerned about right now. And so basically, my lungs are at least disease-free at the moment in terms of things that would be worrying or concerning. The other CT, which includes my liver and the rest of my abdomen, my liver is totally and completely clear. There's been no redevelopment. The only concern is there's a lymph node in the middle of my liver, very close to the resection margin, and also very close to the ablation site in September. This lymph node is 1.2 centimeters. It is notable, but not alarming. And again, it could be due to the fact that I had a serious, large ablation of that new metastatic development going on that prompted the ablation in September. So again, it's something that is not very concerning. My oncologist said that these lymph nodes generally, even if it was cancerous or even if it possessed cancerous characteristics, that they grow very, very slowly. And so we're not too worried about it. So there you go, guys. That's the bottom line of the CT scan, is that I'm in a lull right now. And I know that can't last forever. And my oncologist made that clear. He said, your cancer will come back. And, but right now we're very happy that things are quiet. And I was really surprised, to be honest with you. I thought, I was just expecting, when I clicked on the CT scans and the narratives, I just expected that there would be stuff going on. And so I'm happy, and I feel very blessed about that. Now, the other part of the conversation with the oncologist was about my heart issues and the urology issues, which I've talked about with you guys before. I don't want to get into all that right now, but he just emphasized again that now is the time for me to deal with these other issues, because cancer is not plaguing me, I'm not being harassed by the cancer right now. So it is the time for me to get these other things dealt with. And I told him about my frustrations and how things had just not been moving along. And he promised to try to stir up that process and get things moving. So yeah, the other element yesterday is that I did have the echocardiogram, and the technicians, the sonographers, a doctor, they told me that what they saw shows that my heart is basically in the same situation that it was in way back in April, 6.5 months ago. So that's actually good news. I mean, I've got severe mitral valve regurgitation. The mitral valve is in poor shape. My heart is expanding and enlarging because other parts of the heart are having to compensate for the bad mitral valve. Not to get too deep into the weeds with the technical stuff, but the point is, I need this valve replacement surgery, but things in 6.5 months since my last echo, apparently things have not gotten a lot worse. We're not seeing like a severe deterioration in the situation. So coming up, I'm not sure if that's going to be in a couple of weeks or a month. I should have an appointment with cardiology and the cardiac surgery team, and we'll see how we proceed. So there's the news, guys. I just wanted to update you because, again, I know that there are a few of you, a couple dozen of you at least, who check in and you really follow carefully. And I appreciate that so much. And I wanted to make sure that you know what happened yesterday. The news is good. Prayers have been answered. I drove home feeling a sense of relief, even though, again, this is a battle, but we all know that. So I'm going to try to get this posted as soon as possible so you guys have some information, and I'll get back on with further thoughts as they come along. So love to all of you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.